Boots Ennis he's the real package. He's the full package. I've been saying this for a long time. It's no secret, and a lot of people see it, and they had their ups and downs about how they feel about him. But he's the full package. He can fight inside, outside. He can punch. He's got good hand speed. He's technically solid. His father does a good job. He's mentally right. He's got the amateur pedigree. He's the full package. But
I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like Boots Ennis. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like that. That put that pain in like that. I ain't seen it. I know it's fighters that work hard, but I'm talking about that work like that. Consistency. I ain't seen it. Really putting that pain in. You know what I'm saying? Really grinding it out. You know what I mean? I ain't seen it.
Elite fighters, I'll say it again. Elite fighters put them together. They finished the job. And then I said, wait a minute. Ennis puts them together. Ennis will therefore finish the job. He will hit him with the uppercut just like this fighter did, but then he will put them together. He will not allow him, with all the heart he has and a decent chin, he will not allow him to survive. The speed, the level of Ennis will now take over and dominate. Sure enough, bang, bang.
Unless it's like some kind of freak accident, like a headbutt or like a weird disqualification or something, I don't see how Xander gonna win this fight. He may could go the distance if he moves all night, but I just don't know if he's gonna be able to keep his stamina up, having to move like that in front of a guy that's that dangerous. So I thought before that he could possibly go the distance, but I saw the end of his fight against Sabaz. He's going to be so tired with Boots in front of him. To have somebody like that in front of you is depleting. It's like, it's hard to explain with words, man, but it does something to you mentally to have something like that in front of you.
After years of staying on opposite sides of the promotional divide, Top Rank and Matchroom are finally putting business politics aside to make the kind of matchup boxing fans have been demanding. Standing at the center of it is 23-year-old unified champion Xander Zayas, a young star willing to risk his flawless record against the most avoided fighter in the division, Jaron Boots Ennis. Across boxing communities and forums like Reddit, opinions are split right down the middle. But one thing almost everyone agrees on is the respect Zayas is earning for taking such a dangerous challenge instead of playing it safe and protecting his unbeaten status.
And by the way, I think Boots is gonna put it together. I think Boots is gonna be a top 5 pound for pound guy. I think he's gonna beat Xander Zayas. Well, since we're on the topic, my early pick is Boots.
He said shit.
116, 111. I think it's gonna be a competitive fight. I do think that speed and power and creativity of Jaron Ennis at some point will overwhelm Xander Zayas enough to get a knockdown, but I don't see him knocking out Xander Zayas. I think Zayas is going to make it a very good fight and show why he is who he is as a unified champ, the youngest in the game at 23. But Boots is a phenomenal talent. I just think the people, the reasonable skeptics are just saying, yeah, but it's got to produce something. You're almost 30 years old. You're a year away from 30, and your best win, respectfully, is Montes Stanionis, who's a good fighter, and you did unify. You did become ring champ, technically the lineal champ at welterweight, but I think his talent is better than Errol Spence at this age, but he doesn't have the accomplishments Spence had at that age. But I think Ennis is a better talent,
I agree with that 100%.
When Teddy Atlas broke down the threat that Boots Ennis brings into the ring, he didn't hold anything back. In his view, Ennis is one of the rare fighters who can attack from every possible angle, carrying the same kind of complete and frightening skill set that fans associate with stars like Gervonta Tank Davis. But what separates Boots from almost everyone else is his remarkable ability to fight comfortably from either stance. Atlas even compared that natural fluidity to baseball icon Mickey Mantle, pointing out how Ennis can glide from southpaw to orthodox without sacrificing power, balance, or timing. It's not a trick for entertainment value. He switches positions to constantly disrupt his opponent's rhythm and force them to solve problems they never expected. That level of unpredictability turns every exchange into a puzzle and leaves opponents guessing where the next damaging punch is about to come from.
I think look, I always talk about distraction. You in the football, for NFL top scout, 15 years, director of scouting. What did they do? Misdirection plays. If you had a defense in front of you that was really fast, right? Really fast, what'd you do? You wanted to counter their speed. You wanted to find a way to neutralize their speed, to kind of flip it around on them. So what did you do? You ran a misdirection. You ran one way, whoa, bang, they went right after that, boom, you went back the other way, misdirection. We do the same thing in boxing. Misdirection, where just a little sleight of hand, just a little change, from orthodox to southpaw, whatever it happens, a little flick of the jab, so he looks at the jab, maybe you throw the jab off to the side, boom, and then you throw down the middle. Maybe you move your head to the left, and then you throw the right hand to the right. Just something that diverts the opponent's attention where you can get that punch in clean. And that makes all the difference in the world. And again, who does that? The elite guys that separate themselves. Those are the things that separate them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the whole division is on note.
That relentless offensive style creates a dangerous challenge for Zayas. Several recent technical breakdowns, including a detailed analysis from AKO Yi, have highlighted what could become a serious issue for the young champion. Whenever Zayas opens up with his combinations and starts pressing the action, he occasionally leaves noticeable openings in his own defense. Against an ordinary opponent, those moments might pass without consequence. Against a fighter with Boots' timing and accuracy, they could become opportunities that completely change the direction of the fight.
When he's in the middle, so when he's on the center line, he might throw punches, but there's no power behind him. And if he's sitting on his right hand, same thing. He throws punches, quick shots, but those aren't the really dangerous shots. When he's trying to exchange and he wants to hurt you, you'll see his head go off center to the left over and over again. So he peaks, sort of like, remember Salvador Sanchez used to hit you with those Jones, but then he'll peek over. So he'll peek over, throw a quick right hand, or he'll peek over, and if you freeze, or if he catches the right look that he's looking for, he's shooting a left hook or left hand to the body or left hand to the head almost every time. You know what I mean? And he throw it with weight and with power. That's what he does to try to hurt his opponents, right? But that gets him caught because that's his rhythm. Every time he was there against Sparmer was hitting him with short right hands and was just timing his move. Like whenever he would peek over here, that short right hand was coming almost every time, and Sparmer was catching him right on the chin with those. And then when he's pulling back out of that, he's catching him with hooks. So he was short right hands, left hooks almost all day. It's just that Sparmer was a smaller guy, couldn't really hurt him, but he was hitting him. And that's what I pay attention to, is like, Boots is fast enough and athletic enough to still catch you in those positions, but it's not like you're fighting a smaller guy. Boots can hurt you if you get caught clean.
Atlas has been very clear about one thing. If Zayas enters this contest focused only on hearing the final bell, he could be putting himself in a terrible position. He has to discover the perfect balance between smart movement and meaningful offense, because simply running or surviving won't be enough. Boxing fans online are already debating whether Zayas has the durability to withstand 12 hard rounds against a fighter who punishes mistakes at the highest level. Trying to play it safe against an elite counterpuncher can be a dangerous strategy, especially when every small error has the potential to lead to a devastating shot that changes everything in an instant.
No, I think they got two different skill sets. Xander is more of the boxer, mover now, and oh boy is just an explosive type of guy. He's a combination puncher, once he really starts to let his hands go. And so I don't think it's a big skill separation, just two different styles. And I think, of course, Boots has the more flashier style.
Right.
More crowd-facing style.
Xander's team says that they see a lot of holes in Boots' game. When you talk about the flash, do you feel like, does that kind of ruin your fundamentals at times when you try to be too flashy? What would you say?
No, I think he just no. When I say being flashy, I don't mean tapping his foot and shooting a Superman punch. I don't mean that. Just, you see the way he finished the other kid, the kid he just knocked out in the tune-up. He just gotta go. He gotta weigh about his punches. You know, he threw 4 uppercuts against Stanionis. That's what I mean, flashy. You know, he got the way he throws his punches, and that's what I mean, you know. And he has that. Xander Zayas is not doing that. He's a straight, he's not doing nothing else like Boots. He's not slipping it, he's not wrong, he's not doing that. So that's what I mean. Yeah, so Boots is
This matchup has sparked a bigger conversation across the boxing world because it feels like a battle between two completely different philosophies. On one side, there is explosive natural ability. On the other, there is polished technical precision built through years of discipline. Highly respected trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards added fuel to that debate with a comparison that got everyone talking. He suggested that Ennis reminds him of the legendary Roy Jones Jr., arguing that once a fighter reaches a certain level of athletic brilliance, the old textbook rules of boxing don't always apply anymore.
Okay, so like if we were looking at a guy, right, and you said, oh man, he makes the perfect little layup. You know, he takes his first 2 steps, right? And then you had a guy that could just dunk off of 1 foot as soon as he catch it. Who would you rather on your team?
The dunker. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
So sometimes
So this could be that situation. Exactly.
But sometimes the perspective of the way we look at it is a little bit misguided. And Roy Jones is the person I come back to. People say he don't have fundamentals, Then why couldn't any of these guys that supposedly have all of these great fundamentals do anything with him? Why couldn't none of them do nothing with him until he was 35? Why? Bernard Hopkins, James Toney, Virgil Hill, Reggie Johnson, all of these good fighters. Why could Thomas Tate? They couldn't do nothing with him. Why? It's a reason for that. And I'm just telling you, and we talk about fundamentals, I'm gonna tell you something. The most fundamental punch in boxing is a jab. Boots' jab is better than Xander's. It's better than Xander's.
He got to prove it though.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see come June 27th. Let me know, man, if you want to make a little side wager.
Nah.
According to Breadman, Boots' incredible speed, unusual angles, and lightning-fast reactions have a way of breaking down even the smartest game plans. He even made the bold claim that while Zayas is often praised for his textbook technique and sharp fundamentals, Ennis may actually own the stronger and more effective jab. That's what makes this fight so fascinating. The explosive athlete isn't relying only on natural gifts. There is an argument to be made that he may also hold the edge in some of the sport's most important technical areas, creating a nightmare scenario for any opponent trying to outbox him.
People talk about Boots' competition level, right? Okay, that's fine. Avanesian. Why did he fight Avanesian? Avanesian wasn't there. Avanesian knocked out Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly just beat Tim
Tszyu.
Bakram for the title.
Oh my bad. Yeah, Bakram. Yeah.
How funny is that? Boots get flack for fighting Avanesian, and Avanesian knocked out Josh Kelly, and Josh Kelly beat Bakram, who was considered a monster. Nobody wanted to fight him in a division, and that's the way the media talks about Boots' competition level. Avanesian is just as good as the guy that Xander beat for the belt, but the media turns it a certain way, and the PR teams and stuff, they make it seem a certain way. Nobody makes that comparison, though. Nobody makes that comparison. Nobody says, damn, one of the guys that Boots washed just stopped Josh Kelly. Nobody talks about that. And Boots and Crawford have the same issue. They always get, their competition level gets talked about. And I'm not saying they got great resumes, because I'm a fan of Boots and Crawford. In my opinion, neither one of them have what you call a great resume. But I think they got solid resumes, and it's hard for them to get fights because people know what they are. But they beat some really solid guys that you don't get.
Even with all of that praise surrounding Boots, Teddy Atlas believes there may be one small weakness hiding beneath the surface. He pointed out that Ennis sometimes spends just a little too much time in close range after landing his shots. In his determination to add one more damaging punch, he can remain in the pocket a fraction of a second longer than necessary. That tiny delay could provide exactly the opening that a sharp combination puncher like Zayas needs if he hopes to create a breakthrough during the fight.
Now he got hit. He does get hit. He does get hit clean sometimes. That could be a problem at the next level. Is it because he knows he could afford to be hit with a stand-onus? I know that's a lot of people going to say, Teddy, did you just say that? That's a little irresponsible. Teddy, you said that? That he knew he could afford. What I'm saying is, it's a mental game, not just a physical, technical game. He knows he's the big favorite. He knows that he was the better guy here. And in his mind, maybe he did get a little more reckless or chancy, with certain things than he would with a Crawford, because he knows he can't afford to do that. Maybe that's part of it. We're human. Maybe that's part. That can't be part of it when he goes to that next level. That guy, when he finally gets that guy, whether it's Crawford, whoever it is, whether it's Crawford, whether it's Virgil Ortiz, whatever.
If Ennis becomes overly aggressive and leaves that opening available, Zayas certainly has enough hand speed to catch him with a perfectly timed counter. All it takes is one clean shot landing at the right moment to change the entire atmosphere of the contest. That's why this fight feels so dangerous. It's almost like a high-pressure game where both men are testing who is willing to take the bigger risk. One slight mistake in distance or timing could instantly swing the momentum and leave the boxing world.
Zayas has good punch output, good pop, but he's not a devastating puncher either. You know what I'm saying? So his movement is good, his punch output is good, he's sharp, he got pop, but his strength is exchanges, and you don't want to exchange with Boots because you don't got the same pop Boots has, and you don't want to punch in between shots with Boots. That's going to be a problem for him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he can change his stripes and stay on his bicycle for 12 rounds and kind of stay behind a jab, or try to be like more of a boxer puncher rather than a puncher boxer the way he is right now, because he fights like a puncher, but he doesn't have that one punch KO power. But he's right there exchanging with you in the mix, and that's going to be a problem against Boots, I think. So I looked at it like a good fight on paper, like it's a good 50-50 fight. They both big dudes, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, his size might help him, but I think in this fight, the size might hurt him because, Boots fights usually spars bigger guys, right? And I think Zayas' strength would be his movement and having that extra weight. Like when you see him now that he's not cutting right now, he got swollen head. He looked real big right now. You know what I mean? He looked like 180, 190, somewhere in there. He actually said it. He said, I'm not little either.
Still, choosing to stand and exchange punches with Boots carries a serious warning. Breadman offered an interesting prediction about how the later rounds could unfold, suggesting that if Zayas enjoys some early success and pushes Ennis into a difficult fight, it might actually bring out an even more dangerous version of him. Instead of becoming discouraged, Boots could respond by raising his intensity, fighting with greater urgency, and focusing entirely on breaking his opponent down through pure aggression.
We'll see. We'll see come June 27th. Let me know, man. If you want to make a little side wager.
I'm going to tell you right now, Coach, I got this as a 50-50 fight. I'm going to be honest with you. I do. I got it as a 50-50 fight. I want to look more at Xander a little bit more.
Mills, guess what? You have a right to feel that way. You got eyes. You are not as high on Boots as I am. And you looking at it the way you looking at it, and I got to respect it. I might be wrong. But if you want to make a little wager, you let me know and we can make one. I like Jaron Ennis in this fight, and I believe all that fundamental stuff is overrated in this particular matchup.
Okay. And I want to see it. I want to see what you see. I do. Okay. Because I like to see that at the highest level possible. Do
you promise me this? Because I can promise you this. If I'm wrong, I was wrong. If I'm right, you do the same and say, you know what?
100.
You was right about Boots all along.
Yeah.
You was right about him all along.
Devontae Smith shared a similar opinion, and his outlook on the fight was just as intense. He believes this matchup may not end with one spectacular highlight reel knockout punch. Instead, he expects a calculated and methodical breakdown, where constant pressure and repeated attacks to the body slowly wear Zayas down over the course of the fight. In that scenario, the damage would continue to build until either the referee or the corner has no choice but to step in and protect the young champion before the punishment becomes too severe.
I think it's a high-level boxing match at the beginning. Xander start off fast, Boots start off fast. So it just, who gonna pull their will first? High IQ. Who got very high IQs.
said take it.
Xander, he a little bigger, but I think Boots got more of the intangibles, stuff like that.
The best.
All right, so what's the outcome?
I think Boots by stoppage. I thought it was going to be a corner stoppage, but I think not get too much up. I think he might hurt him downstairs. All I'm gonna say about it. I just think it's gonna be something downstairs.
When everything is stripped away, the reality of this highly anticipated showdown comes back to the point Greg Hackett has been making all along. Nobody questions Zayas's determination or toughness. He has already shown that he can fight through adversity, dig deep, and refuse to back down when the pressure is highest. He is the type of competitor willing to push himself to the limit in pursuit of victory. But courage alone may not be enough when you're sharing the ring with a once-in-a-generation talent. Many experts believe Zayas will need to deliver the greatest performance of his career, reaching a level he has never shown before, simply to survive what is waiting for him.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to start off with Xander. If Xander's green, if Xander isn't ready, how did he get to this point?
You saying if he's those things that people say?
Like I see him in the comments, he's green, he isn't ready, he isn't elite, he hasn't faced anybody.
Yeah.
How did he get to this point? Because you don't become unified champion by accident.
Well, you know what people do? They say matchmaking. No, matchmaking matters, but you still got to fight. Xander fought to get his way here. He did what he had to do. He beat who he needed to beat. And I like him. Tellez lost to Abbas, he beat Abbas. How can we be mad about that? We didn't know Abbas at all, but that's Tellez's fault. Now we know Abbas because of Tellez.
As far as Boots goes, you hear he's overhyped. He's king tune-up, bum basher.
Yeah.
As soon as he faces a real boxer, they're going to outbox him, all the defensive flaws.
Yeah.
So the question I got for you is that if he has all of these flaws, why hasn't anybody been able to capitalize him?
Because don't nobody work like him. That's the truth. I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like Boots Ennis. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen a fighter yet that worked like that. That put that pain in like that. I ain't seen it. I know it's fighters that work hard, but I'm talking about that work like that. Consistency. I ain't seen it. Really putting that pain in. You know what I'm saying? Really grinding it out. You know what I mean? I ain't seen it.
Now the stage is set, and two unbeaten fighters are preparing to collide under the brightest lights in boxing. The biggest question isn't only who will leave the arena carrying the unified championships. It's whether anyone in the entire 154-pound division truly has the tools to stop the force that Jaron "Boots" Ennis has become. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Can Xander Zayas overcome the toughest challenge of his career and defeat the division's most feared man? Or are we about to witness another rising star fall against a fighter many believe is a future legend? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest boxing coverage. And as always, share your thoughts because we want to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.